Okay, how's it going? This is mindful message number 2. If you didn't watch my first one, it's about how to spice up your marriage and or a long-term relationship. So if you're needing that advice or just interested, be sure to check that one out. This one is questions you should ask at the beginning of a relationship. When you first start dating someone, like what should you really get talking to them about? What should you ask to get the right kind of information that you need to make the best decision for yourself? I sat this weekend and I thought about the best things that you could ask to get the most information, because let's face it, I have a detective brain and I'm also a healer, and I need to know things to give myself an open app. Because if I feel someone's low vibrational, I'm going to protect myself. And that's true for everybody out there. So let's see what we got on this list, okay? First of all, you want to ask about their job, but now let me be specific here. This is not how much money you make. How do you live your life? It's what do you do for work? Do you like it? If you could do anything for a job, what would you do? What is your dreams? What is your goals in life as far as work? Even if you don't like your job now, do you want to go back to school? Do you want to reach a level of achievement, a certain promotion? Like being interested in their aspirations is important, and learning, because it's going to tell you about their drive. It's going to tell you about their work ethic a little bit. What I mean by that, like, is if you say to somebody, like, do you like your job? And if they just say no, and you're like, well, if you could, like, not saying like everybody has the opportunity to just up and get a new job, but if you could, if we're dreaming big here, what would your goals be? I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I'd be leery of that kind of person. It's okay to not know what you want at a certain age. Like if you're before 25, I feel like that's a fair assessment. You haven't really figured your life out. But if you're over 25, I just think that's a little bit of a warning of somebody who will be comfortable and mediocre. And I don't think that's right for anybody. Because if they lack ambition in their life and their own goals, they're going to lack ambition in your life together. You're going to end up doing most of the work. It just, to me, expresses a laziness. It's not always true, because sometimes people, get into a career and they really don't like it, and they go work a job just to see what it's about. Like, I don't feel like that. It just seems lazy just because they haven't figured it out. It's the answer that counts. If they say, well, I thought I wanted to do this, but I really don't. Like, now I really don't know what I want. I'm trying to figure it out. That's fair. That's honest. I don't feel like that's a red flag. When they say, I haven't really thought about it, and they don't really want to participate in the answer, that's one, somebody closed off, and two, again, lacking ambition. So, let's see. Are you close with your family, or do you have a close group of friends? Now, don't judge people on this, because I'm not somebody who has a lot of friends, but I am close to my family. I think it's just you ask this question to see how they discuss important people in their life. Like, what kind of animations do they get when they talk about their mom? Like, do they seem sweet and loving? And I think it's difficult to get into a relationship with somebody who doesn't have anyone, because they can either become extremely closed off just because of the way they live their life. So being open and receptive to relationship can become toxic, or they're just very clingy because they don't have anybody else. I think those are red flags, but not necessarily a deal breaker. It's okay to be a loner as long as you take care of yourself, you have ambition, you have goals, you're doing your thing. That's totally fine. But to cut people off, for like, narcissists do this a lot, where they just kind of cut people off when they can't get what they want, or if people are onto them as users. So I always look at that as a warning flag as well. Um, and also, if you talk about their friends, I think meeting their friends is just as important as meeting their family, because most people hang out more with their friends than they do their family, but that's not always true. Sometimes their friends are a family group, like they have family stuff that they do, and then you're going to have to go to friends' house on holidays. So knowing that in advance, I think it's cute when people have strong friendships. I value that. I respect that, because all the people that I was close to passed away. So I'm always looking to rebuild my own family, and I think it says a lot about you as a person to have people in your corner. But there's a lot of people that grew up with no family who don't know how to be emotional. They're emotionally closed off. Doesn't mean they're a bad person. It just means they only take chances on certain people. So again, it's not a deal breaker, but it is a question to ask to see what you're kind of getting into. Do you like living where you live? Do you live in one spot? Do you travel a lot? Are you a nomad, or do you want roots? Do you like routine? Do you like settling in one spot? Because if you're a traveler and you're not a homebody and you're not like that, you're not gonna do well with somebody who is. You know what I mean? So getting that on the table as early as possible is beneficial for you both. Like, no, I travel and work for a lot. Are you going to be able to handle a long distance relationship? Stuff like that is always beneficial to talk right away. You want to ask them, if you're somebody who is looking for the more traditional route, you really want to ask if they want to get married, if they believe in it, if they want children. These are all questions that are a little iffy to bring up, because I think it can scare people off. It's all in how you present it. Like, look, I'm not saying I want to get married to you or tomorrow, or I don't want to start dating someone who has no intention of ever getting married or ever having kids. So I'm just asking for the sake of asking, so we don't get into that situation down the road. If you are somebody who likes marriage or wants it or doesn't want it, maybe you're somebody who doesn't want marriage, you want to express that. Like, look, I'm not somebody who sees themselves having kids or settling down and living in one spot. These are all things that you need to be upfront and honest about from the beginning. The next one, do you have kids? I think it's important to ask this, because I think when people find out that I don't think that you have to introduce your kids. I kind of feel like that should be waited until it's serious. But when you don't admit or say you have kids and then they find out later, it can feel shady. So getting that out in the open in the beginning will save a fight later, or feeling suspicious in any way. You want to ask them, do you go out? Are you a homebody? Just in general. Because again, this kind of person you get in a relationship with, you're going to do stuff with them. So are you a homebody? Are you not? You need to know this. Do they like animals? Do you have pets, or do you want pets? If you have pets, I think it's beneficial to be like, hey, I have a dog. Do you like dogs? You don't want to be with somebody who doesn't like dogs. It's going to be awkward, you know? Make sure you ask those questions. What do you believe in spiritually? Because spirituality, believe it or not, causes a lot of conflict in relationships because it's not discussed. It's okay to believe in different things and just talk about it in the beginning and never talk about it again. But I think that you'll find it's really hard to be with somebody who's very spiritual with somebody who's not at all, because it always turns into, at some point, awkward. So getting that on the table right away is beneficial. Do you have allergies or conditions that you may need help with? Like, are you epileptic? Are you a diabetic? Do you carry an EpiPen? You're going to be spending time with this person. You want to be able to know how to help them in any kind of tricky situation. Also, I think getting this out, if you are the one with the ailments, getting this out in the beginning is going to weed out a lot of assholes. Because if they just ghost you because they don't want to deal with that, then, well, they did you a favor. Sorry, hiccup, because they're an asshole. Let's see. Are you romantic? Do you express your emotions, or are you closed off? Because this causes a lot of fights in relationships. Are you a private person, or do you tell everybody your business? Because that can cause a fight later. Hope this is helpful. Bye.